Yes, just a moment. So let's see. So we
We are.
already we all live. Okay. Just that one. Let's just put this ahead. There should have been a cover for this. No problem.
Yeah, we are going live.
Yes. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sarthak Vijay conducting podcast number 68 for our show named Orient and Occident. And I'm more than happy to have my friend Kailas live with us today. Kailash is a proficient speaker in 3 different languages. He's a father of 2 wonderful daughters, living single vision of life to promote dignity, zeal and love in the world. And he's here with us. Kailash is also the member of National Speaker Association, Illinois chapter. He graduated in spring 2019. At the end of the program, he was also awarded Rising Speaker Star Award. And he's currently serving as the division director for Toastmasters Club Chicago, District 103. And Kailash has a vision of life to promote dignity, zeal, and love in the world. Well, thank you so much, Kailash, for joining us here today at WIIT 88.9.
Yes, and Sarthak, how people will connect through that link and Facebook Live.
Okay, so Facebook also we are live, and we have people connected with us. And if you have any questions, you could reach out to either the Facebook Live from Kailash's timeline, and he's also invited me. And we also have our guest Shradha ji, who's joined us from India, and she'd also be the part of this conversation that we're having today. And this show is about motivation. So I want to ask Kailash, what do you mean by motivation around you? Why did you insist this show to be called as Motivation Around You and not Motivation with Kailash? Because that's pretty much the YouTube channel that you have named as.
Yes, because I gave that name as Motivation Around You because it's not about Kailash, it's not about me, it's about you, your listeners, and that's how it goes. So I want to give you as the first preference.
And then you also mentioned that you agree that the motivation comes from people around you, family, friends, classmates, colleagues. Is this is something new, that things around you? What is it about? Is it like do you think the motivation you have to seek from within?
Because motivation around you, motivation always comes from people around you, things around you. For motivation, one not need to go in the Himalayas and do meditation, or not need to hire $1 million coach for motivation, but it is always with you, around you.
Okay.
And that's why, as you say that you agreed and everybody agreed that it comes from our family, our friends, but things around you looks quite a little bit negative, because it goes, when things comes, it goes to money, and nobody wants to tell that money motivates me. But on the other side, I want to say that if money motivates you, is not the wrong thing. But if only money motivates you, that is the wrong.
Okay.
And I just wanted to say that things around you means, whatever you are seeing. Let's take the example that you drive here by car, and car has steering wheel, So it promotes, it motivates us for the importance of direction in the life and how we can direct our lives toward the greater goal. And about break, it motivates you to keep control of your own life. Acceleration motivates you for growth and promotion and dignity.
Yes.
And similarly, wheels are promote you for the taking action. And the most important thing is about car, that the fuel tank. If everything is fine with your car, but if you don't have fuel in the car, it will not run. So similarly with us, it's motivation which drives our lives, which keeps our lives running. And that's what I say, that things around you also motivates you.
Okay.
Yeah. And I have put all the different things like hand gloves, jacket, shoes, that all the things how we can get the motivation from. For that I have YouTube channel and many videos, 1 to 2 minutes videos about different things. So that's how I wanted to convey the message that its motivation is always around us. No need to find elsewhere.
Okay, so why did you declare yourself as a motivational speaker? And when you say that the motivation is around you and motivation is within, what do you mean by that?
Yes, you asked right question, because I'm saying motivation around you, and then why there is need of motivational speaker.
Right.
So I come to me, this I promote as a motivational speaker only because I want to get high standard, high expectation from people.
Okay.
Like, and people are very sure about motivation is within and nobody else can give motivation. So when I meet somebody and I say that I am motivational speaker, so they initially laugh without showing me, but they expect higher standard of values. Means how I am behaving, whether whatever I said in the back, whether I'm following that or not. So they are continuously watching me and they want approval. They watch me that whether I'm really living that motivational life or not. And that's why I wanted their expectation to be high from me.
Okay.
And it is not about boasting myself and I want to show that, oh, I am motivational speaker and you are not. Actually, it is not like that.
Okay, and when did you realize that this is something that you wanted to do in life, and this is motivating people around is something you wanted to do? Was this your life purpose, or was this something on the regular basis when you're living a job, doing a job here, and then you suddenly come back to home and you're like, well, I do want to do something different for people, I want to motivate people. So was this a life purpose, or what was the quench or curiosity to go off the way to practice this?
Right. Motivation is something came to me means because I belong to a small village from India, and I came here. They are watching me, and people are telling their sons and daughters that, okay, see, Kailas Gilase from small village. So I means I don't want this to be used as a celebrity status kind of thing, but I want to give back to that society, that community from where I belong, and that's the reason I decided to live that motivational life, so that whatever they are having expectation from me, I should be able to give back.
Okay, perfect. So you also say that you're the productivity expert. What is the definition of productivity in your dictionary, and how can people live up to more productive life if they want to?
Yes, I think productivity stands for a simple definition, means getting things done without getting exhausted. Without getting exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what motivation is all about.
Mm-hmm.
And
if you could give us more in depth as to how a person can achieve productivity.
yes, productivity means in the day-to-day life we cannot be productive whole day in the same level. Okay, there are levels of productivity change always.
Okay.
So always whenever you come to the point of productivity, it comes to mindfulness.
Mhm.
The first importance of the productivity is about being mindful.
Okay.
Being aware that what we are doing, how we are feeling. So that's all about productivity.
Okay. And how can somebody be more mindful and focused? Because we do see that nowadays there's so many distractions, and we're going to talk about how social media is, a curse or a boon. But at the same time, after so many distractions, I mean, even after social media, science says that the attention span of humans have dropped from 12 minutes to 5 minutes. A person looks at their phone about 45 times in 1 hour. And 90% of the people have the mobile phones in their arm's length,
Okay.
the whole day. So after so many things are already there, it's very hard for a person to be mindful, and it's easier to be distracted. So how can a person be more mindful?
Right. I can say that means I came across some readings, and I came to know about Pomodoro technique, where it's about how to be concentrate and focused on one thing for continuous 25 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, and Pomodoro technique stands for that. And when you achieve something for 25 minutes continuously, then that gives you full level of productivity. Means
Okay.
see, we cannot avoid multitasking and task switching.
Mhm.
Okay, and that is the productivity killer.
Okay.
But we can do something for continuous 25 minutes, and once you achieve 125 minutes round circle, then you consider that okay, I achieved one Pomodoro.
Mhm.
So that is one awesome technique. People are using that,
Okay.
and that's all.
That's about being focused on one task for 25 minutes can give you more focus towards the task and can give you being more mindful.
Right. And that's how we will get full productive attention toward that one thing.
Okay, there also happens to be, this is something that I read in Harvard Business Review article, that there's this thing called Ohio technique, which means only handle it once. And for example, this is a technique which can avoid procrastinating. And if you're working on multiple tasks at the same time, but if you just pick up one task and get done with it, and then move to another task, and don't move to the second task before finishing the first task, which means only handling a task once, can also lead you to be more focused and more productive. And I wanted to share this because we are talking about motivation.
Awesome. That is even learning for me, Ohio, and I will remember it with the state name Ohio.
Right.
And we are in Illinois. We will think something about IL as well.
Sure. We can definitely plan that. And so, Kailas, you are also a member of 5 a.m. Club. New book came up, Robin Sharma. I'm a huge fan of Robin's writing. He is a great writer, and a lot of things to learn from. And then you said that 5 a.m. Club, you're the member of 5 a.m. Club. What is the motivation behind waking up at 5 a.m. so early? How many hours of sleep do you really get?
This 5 a.m. something really don't come by my own. I was following somebody, and 1 year back when he mentioned that he wakes up at 5:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And before that I was waking up by 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So he then I said that standard that okay, I can also wake up by 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
And Okay, then I was happy. Yes, I thought that I matched that person. And again, immediately when I called him after 1 year and I gave him the good news that okay, 5:30. I started waking up 5:30, and then my enthusiasm suddenly dropped. Then when he mentioned that he wakes up by 5 now, then he say okay, new standard. Then I started to waking up by 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Means I missed it. I tried it much before, but I was failing to do that.
Okay.
But finally, I had to do that, and I'm doing that now. And I make sure that I will get 6 hours of means nice sleep.
So you sleep for 6 hours. You don't sleep for 7 or 8 hours.
No.
You think
Yes.
okay.
6 is means pretty average and enough sleep. I think one can have, and without getting lethargic day. So 6 hours is
So
good.
6 hours is enough. Okay. And then what is the motivation like? How can, if I look at time 5 a.m. in the morning, and it's really hard to step out. So what is that motivation, or what do you repeat, or what do you say to yourself when you wake up so early?
Right. So it is something about means as I mentioned that when I promote myself as a motivational speaker, and every morning when alarm rings by 5 a.m. So I say that I'm motivational speaker. I mentioned that, I said that, and I have to leave that. I have to follow that, and that's wakes me up, and like that.
Okay, perfect. And what about the routine for somebody who wants to achieve high level of productivity, for somebody who wants to be more mindful, more focused, more energetic in their daily life? What routine should they follow? As a motivational speaker, what is your take on it?
Yeah, means I think you are asking about what should be the morning routine for making our day productive and effective.
Right.
So means there are many theories and many concepts are there which talks about what to do in the when you wake up by the 5 a.m. As you mentioned about Robin Sharma's book and his concept of 20 plus 20 plus 20. So first 20 minutes one should do something active. It means that's called exercise, yoga, whatever which is related to physical activity that gives your brain the boost, the energy, and he also mentioned that, or I realized that when somebody follows that, so they are definitely follow. If somebody doing exercise by 5 a.m., they are more likely to continue that schedule.
Okay.
And next 5 minutes it comes to plan what you want to achieve today. One of my fellow speaker mentor, she said that she mentioned that if we do wake up in the morning, so we have to list down 6 things we want to achieve today.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we have to follow that, and at the end of the day we have to keep note of that, how many we already achieved, and like that. So that is another 20 minutes, and the last 20 minutes is about reading inspiration, reading something motivational. If you want to write, so write for 20 minutes. So whatever it is related to inspiration for you, so that should be done. This is the ideal, and if you follow that.
Okay. So the last 20 minutes is reading or writing something motivational.
Right.
The 20 minutes in the middle are for goal setting.
Goal setting.
To write 5 to 6 different goals that you want to achieve today.
Right.
And what about the first one?
First one about exercise.
Always exercise.
Yes,
Very
exercise, whatever physical it is, means it can be you might be following yoga. So if I want to tell about me, I do it with 12 Surya Namaskaras, sun salutations. If somebody is following with the mantras, so I do that. But what I think one thing I included is I added practice of gratitude. Gratitude. When I completed one sun salutation, so I am grateful for the one thing. Means after first salutation, sun salutation, I I'm grateful for my father, then mother, my friends, my companies, my colleagues who gave me job,
Okay.
and my final gratitude goes to people who are contributing in others' dream, who are helping others. So here all comes. Here you as well come at the last.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah.
So Kailash, now we move on to the Toastmasters. We first met at Toastmasters, and I remember you giving a speech on climate change.
If we are on motivation thing, so why not we invite Shradha ji?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. So, okay, so we can connect over the phone,
Yeah.
and we can put on the mic and connect with Shradha ji,
Yeah.
and then we can jump on
So-
to the Toastmasters question that you had. So for Toastmasters, what I wanted to know was that when the first time when we met, you were talking about climate change, and that struck me. And like, well, I really like the way you gave the speech, and then you were also the part of my icebreaker when I gave a Toastmasters club. So my question to you is that how can Toastmaster make you a better leader? Because I didn't continue with Toastmasters for a long period of time. You are the division director at Toastmasters. So we'll also have Shradha ji connected with us, and then we can hear from Kailash and Shradha ji both.
Right.
Just give us one
Yeah,
moment.
So meanwhile you connect.
Yes.
If I want to talk about Toastmaster, and you ask me about.
Yes. So,
Hello.
hi Shradha ji. Welcome to the show. This is WIIT 88.9 FM, and we are live from A Sydney Cast Radio Studio here from Chicago. And we have Kailash ji. So I just wanted to hear from you as well, your opinion on Toastmasters.
No, about motivation, Shradha ji.
Hello.
Yes, namaste. Namaste from India. Sarthak, thank you very much for inviting me on your show. Kailash is doing a wonderful job. I'm very grateful. Are you able to hear me?
We can hear you perfect.
And you are on
Yes.
88.9 FM.
A Sydney Cast Radio Studio, Chicago, and this is from the amazing campus of Illinois Institute of Technology.
Yes, thank you very much for this. Your voice is echoing a bit actually. I am unable to hear you clearly.
But you are clear, Shradha ji, because we are already live and we are having that EFM already on. That's what you might be hearing, but we are hearing you clear.
Okay, okay.
Yes, Shradha ji, go ahead.
Yeah, do you have a question for me?
Yes, we were talking about motivation, how relations, and because you are a motivational speaker, I have been knowing you for last 2.5 years. When first time I saw your post, how you turn into from housewife to motivational speaker. So that was really exciting. Means I showed it, that photo, your profile to my wife, my mother, and whoever it is possible. Means all women from my family, and I mentioned them. And you are continuously doing that, motivating others, and about women empowerment. You are not only talking about that, you are testimony of that. You are with Les Brown and many big leaders. So we wanted to know your take about motivation.
Thank you so much for this. Yes, that's wonderful. And for me, if you ask me, motivation around you would be all about affirmations, about telling yourself, because most people today don't hear anything good in the day, but that what they speak to themselves.
Okay.
What you speak to yourself really matters. So when you start your day, like I heard Sarthak and you discussing the morning rituals. So when you start your day by affirming how you would want to be in the day, that actually keeps you motivated. And when you go out there and meet people, and they could be negative, they could be pulling you down, or they could be encouraging you. And what happens, most people tend to get affected by those kind of people who are pulling you down, and they draw back, enter a shell, which I did for many years, for decades. I was doing the same thing. But then what happens is, when you turn it around and you make them your accountability partner without even taking their permission. Because now they have challenged you, they have let you down, they have actually wanted to, drag you out of what you are affirming yourself to be.
Right.
And that's what I did, because when my mother-in-law actually got up to, challenge me, to beat me, I made her my accountability partner. I said that nobody is ever going to raise their hands on me ever again. Being a domestic violence victim for so many years.
Okay.
But here I was, actually making her my accountability partner. And that's what keeps you motivated. That's the motivation that you get from being around you.
Okay.
Wow.
Amazing. Shradha ji, when you come across people, and I really like the idea of, can you hear me okay, Shradha ji?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Okay, amazing. So when you talk about, you wake up in the morning and you start with affirmations, and you are basically channelizing, keeping you upbeat, and you start off your day, and then you come across people, maybe you can be toxic, or some of the people who can be encouraging, depending upon the environment. And you mentioning that if those people disagree with you or try to pull you down, or are not supportive of you, so do you give it back when somebody is trying to make you, affect you with their words? Do you give it back to them, or how it's easier to say that, don't get affected? What is the practice that you have to build in order to filter from your mind from these negative intoxicants?
Well, for me, it was the book called The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. And in that I read, there was a quote, which I said on my speech also on stage with Mr. Les Brown, the first time that I went on stage with him, was whenever my attention wanders away from that which is good and constructive, I will immediately bring it back to the contemplation of that which is lovely and of good report. Whenever my attention wanders away from that which is good and constructive, I will immediately bring it back to the contemplation of that which is lovely and of good report. And when you start writing this down in your journal, there is a connection between the brain and the hand that registers it in your being. And that keeps you away from being distracted and, just intact with your core. What you want from your own identity, how you want to control your day. It's that simple.
Amazing. And you got to keep repeating that over and over, in your mindset that no, you are strong, you are a nice soul, you're meant to be uplifting, you're meant to be supportive of other people, and focus on your mission or purpose or vision, and constantly repeat yourself to the point when it just embedded in your subconscious.
Exactly, and it does happen. That is the book. That's the book all about, the power of the subconscious mind. And like Earl Nightingale has said, that success is the realization of a worthy ideal. Success is the realization of a worthy ideal. Once you know what you want, then you don't react, you respond. And when you have that knack of responding, then you do things your way, not the way that the other one wants you to do it.
And what's the distinction between reaction and response, according to you?
Well, there are many definitions that people use. Most people will react, and then they are doing things according to the other. Because now if you are into an anger mode, or if you are into an argument, it's basically a reaction of what the other person wants you to be or behave in a certain manner. But when you are in full control of your own being, then it's a response. Then you know exactly how you're responding. Like, for example, if you're at the airport and the driver that has come to receive you is late. Now, how would you take that situation, by reacting in anger or by responding by keeping calm?
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Shradha ji. We will come back to you because we saw that you are currently working on uh, means power of togetherness and wedding shakti. Okay, so when will come to the point of relations, so we will definitely bring you back again. Yeah, thank
Yes,
you.
thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, I'm here.
You're most welcome. Okay, so Kailash talking about the Toastmasters and talking about how the experience was, your journey, and how it can make you a better leader. So what do you think about it?
Yeah, about if you give me Toastmaster to talk about Toastmaster, it will take full 1 hour because I'm so excited about that and I'm so much into that. And the Toastmaster actually stands for um, where leaders are made, and that 95 years old organization very well knows that how to make somebody as a leader and what needs to be as a what needs to make one leader for with the communication and their leadership. Yeah. And that's how. So it has all two different streams. One is the communication track and other is leadership track. Mm-hmm. One of the time I presented, um, I presented to Toastmaster as a $45 MBA program.
Right, that's funny.
Yeah, and it means for Toastmaster for me is kind of business school, where because see why I said a MBA in $45 because means wherever you go, why people do MBA because they got projects, they got opportunity to lead the teams and handle actual projects, and same thing happen in Toastmaster. Means you will be as a area director or division director, you will be you will get one team to work on. You have to manage speech competitions, you have to organize open houses or conferences, so that all experience you will not get anywhere and you can test all the type of leadership skills whatever you are reading and you want to practice. So that type of experience you get in the leadership. Amazing. And in the communication, when means people who, there are many people are afraid of speaking in front of people, right? And that's how communication is very much important for everybody. So Toastmaster gives you opportunity to go without being perfect or professional.
Right. And that reminds me that there's a saying that people are more afraid of speaking in public than they actually are of dying. So is the fear on the top, and that also was one of the reasons why we joined Toastmasters. But I'm glad that we met you there, and we are hosting you at WIIT 88.9 if I'm talking about motivation today. So Kailash, moving forward, what do you think would be your suggestion for the job seekers? We are in a technology school, and we are, there are students who are listening to us right now who are just graduating and just entering the job market. So what is your advice for students who are studying in the colleges and schools, and what would be the advice that you give to your younger self when you were in your early 20s or late 20s, or you just started your career? If there are any tips that you could give us, that would be great.
Right. It's like means if you are looking for a job and looking for first opportunity to work with any company, so consider that this situation is like a chick coming out of egg.
Mm-hmm. A chick out of egg.
Right.
Okay.
So means utilize that power that means whatever urge you have, means you have to go with the job, and do not lose your hope, because I have been experienced that when I started initially for 6 months, I was out of job, means I completed my graduation, but I didn't have job, and I didn't have English, I didn't have any big background where means people can refer me. Okay, and that time I was so nervous. I was almost gave up, but I didn't have anything else rather than trying. And somehow when I was keep practicing, just one thing I want to mention most, that if you are not good at something, means uh, means you completed your graduation, but still there are some weak points.
Right.
So means at this point, because that 6 months, 4 months, when do not discourage by that one point.
Okay.
Start concentrating on other point. That days were gone when people were saying that work on your weak point.
Yes.
So, but
So would you say it's good to work on strengths rather than
friends,
weaknesses?
right, because you will lose so much energy and there will be less motivation to
Mhm.
work on your weaknesses. So
Okay.
better you, when you work on your strengths, and somebody will say that okay, you are good at that, and then you will keep motivated and keep doing that thing. So
Amazing.
that's awesome. So for job seekers, I want you to focus on whatever situation, realize and work on your strength. That will definitely help you.
So focusing on the strengths rather than weaknesses is the tip for the graduate students or any students who are just starting up in their career. And then we move forward to what would, in your opinion, be the best investment that one person can make?
I want to bring Shradha ji also here,
Okay.
because I want to talk about the topic which she is expert in, and she can add more value. Um, yeah. So for me, you can repeat that question to Shradha ji, or she might be already heard that Shradha ji.
Yes, I'm back. I'm back.
Welcome
Yeah,
back, Shradha.
yeah.
Yes, I'm
Sarthak
here.
wanted means mention me that what is the best investment, and I will say that it's a relationship. See, means my my manager, he is currently turned into web manager. Okay, and he always keep mentioning that long term investment is very much important rather than the short term. Always long term is important. Yes. So something, if you want to earn the money quickly with the risk, then you invest in the short term. If you want continuous money, then you invest in the long term things. Okay, and Warren Buffett said that the best investment you can do is in yourself.
Right.
That is really true.
There's also a saying to add to your point that a broke mind will only think of today, and a wealthy mind would think of tomorrow and day after and days down the road.
Right, yeah, that's a
Wow.
yes.
I love that. Yes, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, and and the last point, I want to go beyond that, that the best investment is in relationships.
Okay.
So see, where we will never know that how which relationship will give you what. See, today means no money can bring me here rather than my relationship with Sarthak Sharma.
Right.
No person can come and accept something for doing for me rather than my relationship with Shradha ji. We invited her and she accepted that invitation. I just realized that one of my friend came to Chicago, and I mentioned him that okay, you can stay in that apartment where he saved $1,000 just because I was knowing him, and it happened to me many times.
Okay.
So I was knowing somebody, rather than wasting so much money, and we will not get better response and better return out of that. But if you have good relationship with somebody, you will never know that how big that can give you returns on.
Perfect.
So, Shraddha ji, what about relations?
Yes, Sarthak. What's the question that you were asking me?
So we just wanted to know what is the best investment a person can make, and what is it in your opinion?
It's time.
Okay.
Everything else can be replaced, but all that you can give somebody is your attention and your time. Like I heard you in the beginning when you said multitasking and the wire concept, doing one task, handling one thing at a time.
Right.
So when you give somebody your attention, at times you are present yet not present.
Right.
Like in a conversation or on a dinner table or when you're having lunch with somebody. But if you give them your attention, your time, that's the best investment that you can make in somebody.
And could you demystify, when you say attention, it's like looking into somebody's all focused, trying to concentrate, but your mind sometimes, just uh, goes away. Just, it's frickle. And so, how do you bring the attention back? And what is the practice that you do? I was talking to Kailas about mindfulness and about being in the moment. Kafi diya. According to you, what would be the tips for the listeners who have issues being in the moment or being present? What would your opinion be and points be on that?
Thank you so much for that lovely question, Sarthak. Shradha means faith,
Mm-hmm.
and I have developed a system called the faith system
Okay.
to help you focus. And now the faith has the acronym F for focus, A for accountability, I for invest, T for thoughts, and H for hunger. So when you know what you want, you're able to focus. And now that you know what you want, you hold yourself accountable to focus. And when you're holding yourself accountable, you invest your time wisely because now you're accountable. And when you're investing your time wisely, you have full control over your thoughts because research says more than 86,000 thoughts enter you in a day. But you get to choose the ones to dwell on. So when you want to give your entire attention to something, then you have control over your thoughts. And lastly, hunger. If there is no hunger in you to be present with the person that you are, to give that attention to your work, to that thing that requires your attention at that moment, then it's not worth it in any way. So when you follow the faith system, you're very much in the moment with full attention.
Amazing. That's a very good practice, and thank you for that, Shradha. Uh, we move on to what is the drive behind being motivational speaker. What keeps you guys on track? When you step out of the bed every day, Kailash mentioned that he says it out loud that he's a motivational speaker and he needs to have a certain values, the integrity, and that pushes him out of the bed to do the motivation. So, what's that fire that keeps you driven, and what is that thing that keeps you on track?
Yeah, for me, means my wife must be hearing listening that, and she keeps saying in a day that what type of motivational speaker you are, and and people also means whenever something goes wrong, it is not expected or like that. So that keeps me focused because I promoted myself. I boosted myself as a motivational speaker, and then I have to leave that life. So that not only for my status, but I made it my focus and means track. That yes, I am that. I have reached that, and then I have to follow. So whenever something I go to the negativity, something frustration comes, then I ask the question to myself: is that the really situation? And before this event, I asked Shirin Rao. She's a motivational speaker and a very big name in the motivational industry. So she said that fully present in your moment with fully committed to your life, yourself, your feelings. So that makes more sense.
And what, in your opinion, Shradha, the drive that you have?
It's midnight in India. You have caught me unaware. I am yet with you just the way I am. So stay true to your core and you'll be motivated always, 24 by 7. Just be ready all the time. Just be yourself. There is no need to prepare for anything. Go with the flow. Be yourself. Like you caught me unaware. I was to be on call, but you took me on Facebook Live. Now, if I go and I tell myself I need to motivate, it does not happen that way. Just be yourself.
Okay.
24 by 7.
And be ready, awesome. And this way you are living. We really realize that it is not only about, means motivation is not only about going on stage and speaking with people, but it is living. That is very true, and that we are very thankful. And that is a great example you put, that you agreed on the initially on the phone, and then means that was my fault as well. I need to be Sarthak. But that gave me another guideline or another baseline how the motivation speaker should be. So thank you very much for being that benchmark.
Thank you so much for that.
All right, and now we're coming to the last question for the show, and we want to know, and the listeners want to know, what are the biggest mistakes that you've ever made in life, and what were the biggest fears that you combated, and how one can be more driven by fighting the fears and the tactics as to how one can fight the fears.
Yeah, for me, I can say the biggest mistake I made was I was really negative and skeptic about my future. I mean, when I was in village from India at that time, if anybody even appreciates me that time, I say, oh no, I'm not that. I won't go like that, or I won't be that person any time. So I was very much negative. But now I started that. Yes, it is possible. Believe in yourself. That one thing I made a mistake, but I combat that this way. That's it.
Yes, that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Kailash. And yes, for me, it would be my biggest fear would be, not thinking worthy of myself. So when you are treated the way you allow people to treat you, and that was my biggest mistake, to conform. And when I decided to transform, everything changed. Everything changed. I got over my fear of anything and everything. There is no need to fear anything. Most people conform. They fear transformation. I hope you got that answer, Sarthak.
Yes, and I cannot be more happy to have such talented guests on the show today, and I really hope that we can do this more. And if listeners do want to get more motivation, then we have the channel Motivation with Kailash. And Shradha ji, what would be the best way for somebody to be motivated listening to your videos or the motivational pieces that you share?
To connect with me on my website, shradhawtb.com, and on Facebook. I'm very active on Facebook by the same name, Shradha WTB. So yes, you can connect with me, write to me on shradhawtb@gmail.com. I would love to read your questions, answer them for you. Connect with me through Messenger. I would love that as well. And just reach out to me in any way that you can. Just give a shout, and I'm here there for you. That's it. Yes, Kailashji, what do you have to say?
Shradha, you are currently working on the project Wedding Shakti. A quick note on that.
Wedding Shakti is a new concept that I have introduced for the world, wherein I empower couples to connect and successfully unite before, during, and after a wedding, to live a harmonious life of love and longevity. sharing the secrets of togetherness through the faith system, where now you focus on friendship, hold yourself accountable to be affectionate, invest your time in intimacy, have thoughts of tease and playfulness surface, and remain hungry to be honest in the relationship. So that's how the faith system works for Wedding Shakti, the secrets of togetherness. Yes, and that's the new concept I've launched, especially because there are 90% of marriages that are arranged in India, and 55% marriages are arranged yet today in the entire world. So I have introduced this concept mainly, especially for people who are opting for arranged marriages. Yes.
Amazing. Any last words from you before we end the show?
um, I realized that means how great it is that Cheryl Rouse and she was listening to us and she acknowledged that she was been mentioned here in the our radio show. So I'm thankful for that and always be means I want everybody to always be motivated means and I want you to be present for something towards means get that self-image that you represent on you represent on society or anything or any attributes for me when I say motivational speaker then I represent motivation so for everybody to get the thing you can be known for something that whenever it comes to you are meant to become. So that will definitely help you to keep track.
Would you agree?
Go on, go on believing in yourself and witness the breakthrough. Go on believing in yourself and witness the breakthrough.
Amazing, guys. That was Kailash and Shradha all the way from WIIT 88.9 FM. It was podcast number 68 for our show named Orient and Occident, and we're live from Illinois Institute of Technology, Chicago. You guys have a great day. It's nice out there. Enjoy the weather and make the most of your day. Well, have fun. Happy Memorial Day once again. Okay, Shradha ji.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for this opportunity. Thank you, Kailash ji. Thank you. Thank you.